Yeah. Thank you. So, Dominos. I'm going to talk to you. Not pizzas. Dominos, the board game, the pub game. I play it on a Thursday night in a league competitively. Some people think that's very, very sad. I've got to convince you that it isn't. It was invented in Hangzhou, which is the twin city of Leeds. I found that out in doing this presentation. Amazing. 13th century. Came across here in 1800 and into pubs and clubs, and you may have seen people playing it. And basically, it's quite a simple game. Probably all of you played it when you were kids, and although I would like to say a lot of things about it, and I will try to in 5 minutes, and there are rules, it's really the same thing you played when you were kids. So 4 of you playing, there are 28 dominoes, you pick 6 up each, you play in pairs, and the first one out wins. You play up to 5, and that's the game basically. There is variety. We have things called 5s and 3s, some of you may know. That's like dominoes for people with brains. It's like a plater to a welder sort of thing for those of you in manufacturing still. Not many, unfortunately, as we had before. It's cultural. So if you've ever been to Chapeltown or seen people playing dominoes in the Caribbean, they slam down the dominoes. If you do that in Yorkshire, we have a saying, pick your window. Frowned upon. Not good. And it's played around the world. So how can I start to get across how it's a good thing? Well, it's on a Thursday night, and it actually elongates your weekend. So you can go out on a Thursday night, which is great. And that's what we do. That is actually an action shot that I took on my iPhone. I can tell you're impressed. We play in a league. If you win the league, you go into the Champions League. And if you win the Champions League, you win a nice trophy, you have a presentation night. Now, the problem we have is demographic. We're the youngest team in the league by about 20 years, so by the law of nature, we'll eventually clean up. It's a counting game, so basically, there are 7 of each number, and if you've got 5 of the number and 2 are already played, you know that if you get your dominoes out, then other people can't go. So basically, that's the strategy. It's complete luck if you lose, and it's strategy and skill if you win. There are some of these older guys and women are telepathic, so you sat there and they say, play your double 6, and you're like looking for the mirrors, and they just know. Now, cheating happens. This is controversial, but it does. Cheats have, the pairs know little signals, so they'll go, that's double 6, and I've got the 3s. Now, we don't cheat. I've got to say that, haven't I? We don't cheat. We don't, actually. But the problem when you don't cheat is you inevitably get an itchy head when you play in. So you're thinking, I can't scratch my head. They're going to think I'm cheating. So anyway, it's a beautiful game. And it is simple, like all good games. And I would recommend it, competitive dominoes. You can play for money as well if you want, which makes it interesting. And you have things like the box where you put them away. And that's another story that I haven't got time for. Anyway, but Doms has a wider meaning. Now, I'm in Who's Who. I never like to brag about things. I happen to be in Who's Who. I think I'm the only person in Who's Who that lists the hobbies as dominoes. And it's my way of sort of hanging on to my past, hanging on to what's important, what keeps me grounded. So I play with the lads that I went to school with. It wouldn't matter to them if I was on the bins, if I was on reception, if I was a carer. And I know that if it all turns to whatever in the job I'm doing, then I can go back to that. I can go back to my family, my brother, my wife and family, and they will not be bothered at all. And actually, that's really powerful because it means that you can't ever get too stressed about things. Your job can never be absolutely too much to you because you know that there are the people who really matter are the ones who you rely on, and if you like, have been my foundation through my life. So actually, this is about being yourself. It's about being authentic and sticking with your roots. And that is what's really important. And it's really about lifelong friends. And I would say to any of you, if you've got a lifelong friend and you didn't text them over Christmas, you didn't see them, drop them a text tonight, because they're the ones that really, really matter. And that's Dominoes, and that's lifelong friendship. Thank you.